Hello, everybody. It's your favorite YouTube internet historian slash academic slash scientist slash all of those things that you just absolutely love to talk about. Weebo, me. And I am joined here today with Makarov and Jolander. How you guys doing today?
Fantastic.
That's good.
A few more minutes before I have to return to work, so this is going to be a very short but fairly entertaining time, I guess.
Okay. Fair enough. So, since you have to leave momentarily, I guess we'll just shoot the shit until you leave, and then when you leave, we'll do the political compass test, because that's what we decided upon doing today, this afternoon, gentlemen in the chat. Oh, by the way, hi chat, how are you doing? I'll wait for their answer. It's fine. It's not like they can immediately respond, but that it is what it is. So it's a nice Monday, April the 9th, 2018. Started off the day with freaking snow, and now I'm sweating balls. So that's my life. How's you guys doing?
Doing fine. A little hot.
A little hot.
Well, I wouldn't know. Today I came back from the night shift. I went to sleep, it was dark. I woke up, it was dark again. So
I feel that.
It's been a fairly interesting day / night. And it's still going to be. I can't wait to jump onto this stupid bandwagon and then get connected with these idiots in the Silicon Valley again. For fuck's sakes.
Someone in the chat is asking if I'm trans. No, obviously not. I'm a trap. There's a difference.
A huge difference.
Just a little bit. Sorry, someone was going to talk before I so rudely butted in.
No, I think Makarov was just finishing up.
Oh, all right. Oh, and we have the Liberal Sanity Project in the chat. He was on last night for the debate. By the way, I'm pretty sure I have gained brain cancer from that debate. Did anyone else watch it and
yes.
come away with it feeling like...
I watched the first maybe 15 minutes.
15 minutes?
Yes, that's how long I lasted.
I watched the whole thing.
You watched the whole thing? And what were your thoughts on it?
It was painful.
Gotcha. What do you
I didn't miss much of anything.
No, you didn't. What do you think that I can do to improve the next debate that I host?
I thought you did an all right job.
Just maybe screen the debaters a little bit better.
Make sure that both debaters have their arguments up to snuff before they get in there.
Yeah. Well, see, here's the thing. Hey Dude 77, we're friends. We did a collab a few weeks back. And we're cool, by the way. Me and Hey Dude, we get along real well. He approached me with he asked me to essentially moderate the debate, and I was like, yeah, sure, I'm game for that. We'll do it on my channel, because like third party stuff and shit, you know how that is. So I offered up my platform and stuff, and got it all ready. I had them on 15 minutes earlier to establish like the rules of the debate, and what they were comfortable with, what they weren't comfortable with, because honestly, it is their debate. So I wanted them to feel like, they were in control or what have you. And then they start talking, and I think it was 15 minutes in, I was like, I should probably look up the National Suicide Prevention Hotline just in case. And then I ended up posting it in chat midway through, just for shits and giggles, to kind of make it a little bit less awkward, but also less...
A very smart move on your part.
Well, I did it to kind of make it a little bit more funny.
You covered your bases too.
Well, yeah, I covered my bases. Now I'm not legally at fault for anyone who may or may not have, done their shenanigans. Real subtle, by the way. So I gave Hey Dude some pointers and tips on how to better debate in the future. So hopefully he takes that advice. And I'd be happy to host them both again on my channel. So long as like maybe Hey Dude can give me like a list of his arguments and sources and stuff beforehand, so I know that he knows what he's talking about or something. Anyway, so as the title denotes, we are going to. I am going to be taking the political compass test this fine afternoon. Just because
well, that's my cue to go then. Enjoy, have fun, and I'll be watching on the sidelines.
All right. Be seeing you.
See you, Makarov.
Bye bye.
Anyway, so taking the political compass test because I don't know about you guys, but are you like wadding through trash or something over there on your head?
No, just give me a second. The dog is.
Oh, poor doggo. Okay, anyway, so sorry guys. So I know that my positions with regards to politics are kind of ambiguous because I haven't really actually made a significant stance. Like I haven't definitively told anyone or said as to where it is that I affiliate myself, and that's for a good reason. It's because I prefer not to affiliate myself with any one group, just on principle of the fact that I'm probably going to disagree with that group at some point, so I'd rather not. The political compass test, if you're unfamiliar with it, here, well, I'll pull up screen sharing so you guys can see and we can talk about it. So for those who are unfamiliar with it, this is the political compass test, and it is essentially supposed to establish where you fall on the political compass. It's, I guess, actually we can look up political compass. What it looks like, you've probably seen it before. The compass. I spelled compass wrong. This is what it looks like essentially. If you're more in the red, you're more authoritarian left. If you're more in the blue, you're authoritarian right. Purple, libertarian right. Green, libertarian left. To be honest, if I were to guess right now, there we go. Sorry, press the button. If I were to guess right now, I'd probably fall somewhere in this zone, most likely. So we'll see if I'm right. Jolander, do you have like a prediction?
I'm thinking you're going to fall right on the L, libertarian right.
Libertarian right, right here? Somewhere in there?
Right on the L.
Right on the L, right there?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we shall see. I'm being told to invite Fake Ross. If someone can get Fake Ross to show up in chat, I would be all for that. You, Jolander?
Sure.
You know who Fake Ross is?
Haven't a clue, but more the merrier.
Oh my gosh. If you've ever seen Mr. Medicare's bathtub time thing, that would be
Missed
it.
that one.
Anyway, so political compass test. Page 1 of 6, and look at all of that shenanigans right there. So we're going to go through these questions and see what my answers are. Hang on. Just a few proportions to start with concerning, no less, how you see the country and the world. If economic globalism is inevitable, it should primarily serve humanity rather than the interests of transnational corporations. Okay, that's a lot to unpack there. If economic globalism is inevitable, it should primarily serve humanity rather than the interest of transnational corporations. Christ. Okay. Right out of the gate, we have a very complicated question, and that complicated question, I have to unpack it. You know, it's funny because I'm not a poli-sci major, nor am I an economics major, so I do not have the biggest and most all-encompassing grasp on this. I'm more of a psychology and computer science nerd. That's my area of expertise. But if I were to say serve humanity rather than the interests of transnational corporations, I'd say disagree. There's no neutral ground here, so I can't be like, I don't care. Whatever happens, happens. Just because, like I said, economics and such are not my area or field of expertise. Because here's the thing, I don't know how that would work or what that would look like. I haven't read up about total economic globalism enough to actually be like, oh yeah, this would be a bad thing, or this would be a good thing, or this is what that looks like. So I
think that actually has probably a little more to do with, are you for big corporations or for smaller businesses?
Big corporations or smaller businesses? You mean like?
That's how I would read it.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, will it serve the people or will it serve the corporations?
I feel like
That's
that
what
would.
that's asking.
Oh, okay. Well, I am in favor of small businesses, local businesses, because I do think, here's the thing. Globalism on its face, I mean, it has its benefits, it has its disadvantages, but inevitably, I'd rather support local, close-knit, businesses where I can talk to the owner face to face, and I can know exactly what it is and who it is I'm buying from, rather than transnational corporations where everything is kind of like ambiguous and anonymous, and you don't know who it is.
Right.
So if we're going with that, chat, what do you think? We can come back to that question. It's not like look at this. We have a whole bunch of questions here. So we'll come back to that one. I'd always support my country, whether it was right or wrong. Disagree. I have my own morality. Oh, bye, ranting monkey. Peace out. I have my own standards for morality that don't go, like I said, I'm not the type of person to affiliate myself completely with an in-group. I do love my country, but I would not support my country in the event that it does something that I would find morally abhorrent, for instance, genocide. Yeah, I'm not on board with that. So actually, I'm going to change that to strongly disagree. So according to the chat, Gopal Brown read that as how much do you trust the market? Anyone else? Big chain businesses, Terrapin, big chain businesses and corporations in large cities and small businesses in rural towns. Small rural towns. Okay.
It'd be nice if it was like that, but it's big chain businesses are being everywhere.
Yeah, they would be everywhere, and they are everywhere because I live in not a rural but a semi-rural town, and we actually have a farm store not too far away from my house, and I do prefer to get my groceries from there as opposed to, like, say, the Walmart. Not because, well, Walmart's less expensive, obviously, but the people that I buy the meat from and the milk from and all that jazz, it's really delicious, and it tastes like 98% better because it's grass-fed beef, and
Well, I definitely support grass-fed beef.
Oh yeah. What kind of something fed chickens, range chickens,
Free range chickens.
free range chickens, and pork, and just it's absolutely delicious. I'm not reading the questions logically, says Richard Norman. Well, how do I read the questions logically, would you say? Do I ask myself what matters to me more or what makes more sense? Anyway, we're going on to the next question. No one chooses his or her country of birth, so it's foolish to be proud of it. Well, I disagree. Because here's the thing, you can change your citizenship if you really want to. And then you can be proud of that citizenship. There are people who come from, like my family, originated from Poland, came here, and we are proud Americans. I'm fourth generation American. My grandmother, I think, is second generation. No, technically she's no. Hang on, I'm third generation American. She's first generation American because she was born here. She's a proud American, even though she affiliates strongly with her Polish roots. So I gotta say, because you can change your country, not of birth, but of citizenship, I feel like, it's foolish to be proud of it. Wow, I feel like I'm kind of put on the spot here. Jolander, if you want to jump in at any time.
Oh, I was just waiting for you to get through your. No, I actually agree with your answer on that one because for pretty much the same thing you're talking about. I mean, where you live is and where you associate with your country of birth doesn't really seem to matter that much. It's
Yeah,
where it's where you're proud of being.
Yeah, for instance, I was born in a different town than I live now, but I strongly affiliate myself with the town that I live in now as opposed to the one that I was born in. And that's not because I'm a town trader or whatever. It's just because I like where I live and I choose to live there when I'm not at school or what have you. I choose my school that I go to and I strongly affiliate with it because I chose it. So I feel like I'm reading the question wrong because I'm being told I'm reading the question wrong. Yes, I'm a proud American, but not because I was born here. It's because I love this country.
Right.
Yeah. If I was born in another country, for instance, Spain, I don't know, I probably want to move to America just because I like the way that the country is set up. I think it's purely coincidental that I was born here and I'm proud to be an American, honestly.
I heard that your song coming on.
A race has many superior qualities compared with other races.
That's a very toxic question.
It is a toxic question, but I have to think about it logically. A race has many superior qualities compared with other races. So what are the white race known for, everybody? Just curious.
Civilization.
Civilization. The ability to, have straight hair?
Burn in the sun.
No, speak for yourself. I don't burn necessarily in the sun. I get really tan. Inventing everything, says Zeethagram. But is that the race is that a race quality or is that an individual?
It's more of a regional thing. It could have been any race. It just happened to be, that's just it. I mean, the qualities that came out of the areas had nothing to do with the race so much as just the areas and the cultures that came there. It's more of a cultural thing than a racial thing. Skin colors, it had nothing to do with it.
Pet salons, I'm being told.
Ooh, there's a good one.
Pet salons. Going to the gym, heavy weapons officer, conquering other countries. IQ. Well, here's the thing. Don't Ashkenazi Jews and Asians have higher IQs than us? Technically.
Well, I mean, you say it has to do with more the, I guess, the shape of the bell curve, and that's still kind of.
I'm still doing my intelligence series though, so as I'm doing the series, I haven't quite made up my mind on whether or not IQ is based more so on race or not race, but genetics as opposed to sociological and just basically your environmental factors. So it's a journey for me, essentially, at the end of the series when I finally figured out what it is that my opinion is. Hopefully, I will have come to a substantial conclusion that makes sense, that has been supported by the entire series that I'm doing. Actually, right now I'm working on an episode about feral children and their intelligence. So that's going to be a thing. So this question I'm stuck on, mainly because if someone can come up with a superior quality like that white people have to all of their races, then I guess that would count as that. But
beautiful blue eyes.
Beautiful blue eyes. Is that superior though? Because I know that blue eyes have the not a defect, but the disadvantage of being more sensitive to light. Right? So that's a thing.
But they're prettier.
Prettier. I know, but
objectively.
Exactly. That's the thing.
Or subjectively, that's where I meant.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I would agree with Reed Terrapin. There isn't really anything good about being good or bad about being white. It's just kind of like a neutral thing. And Death Yurukin is saying Crocs, which I think means that that is a inferior quality compared to other races. Just others. Okay, fair enough. If we take it ambiguously and just if we take it to mean as ambiguously as possible and we don't attribute any other whatever to it, I guess we could say that. I do agree, but not strongly. I'm going to click that. I'm going to get so much hate for that. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. If the enemy of my enemy hasn't done anything to me, then yeah, sure. But if they have done something to me, then I have two enemies then, I guess. Military action that defies international law is sometimes justified. Well, I have to agree. Sometimes there are certain laws in place put there by people that you don't agree with that you feel can be justified. But depends on who's justifying it. There's now a worrying fusion of information and entertainment. Are we talking about your basic sitcoms and shit?
I don't know. These are very gray questions. They definitely don't. They leave a lot of interpretation to them.
Exactly, which is, here's the thing. This is why I hate the political compass test, because there's nothing stringent about the way that the questions are. It's all up to your own interpretation, which means that, you know, you could be placed on the
lens on it.
Exactly. You could be placed on the political compass test, and someone with vastly different views on the questions than you can also be placed the exact same place as on the political compass test. You feel? Yes, Death Yurukin, I agree. This is a very strange test, and this is my first time taking it. So let's see what happens. There's now a worrying fusion of information and entertainment. I don't know. Would you call BuzzFeed information?
It's a fusion of information. It's not great information, but it is. But again, so is everything out there now is, and I think that's maybe what they're talking about. Your news has gone from just reporting what the news is, has gone to more editorials and a lot of opinions and make it flashier.
True. Editorials and opinion pieces are kind of ridiculous. I think I'm going to strongly
very prevalent.
I'm going to strongly agree with this. And then I want to go back up to this one and revisit. If economic globalism is inevitable, it should primarily serve humanity rather than the interests of transnational corporations. Now, I think what that means is that I still don't fucking know what it means. Yeah, if you guys thought I was smart, you're in for a treat. I'm not. Only in certain areas that I care about. And
that one you may be overthinking some.
Am I overthinking it? Yeah, I have a tendency to do that. I'm going to read it one more time. If economic globalism is inevitable, it should primarily serve humanity rather than the interests of transnational corporations. I'm going to disagree. I'm going to keep disagreeing. I'm going to stay with my original answer. Never second guess yourself, kids. Never second guess yourself. All right, page 2. Oh, now we're talking about the economy. We weren't before with that first question. People are ultimately divided more by class than by nationality. I have to agree with this. I'm going to strongly agree with this. Because, we have poor people that relate to each other more so than people of the same race sometimes as well. If you've ever spent time in a soup kitchen, you get a grasp on that pretty solid, actually. And then there are some rich snobs out there that absolutely do not relate to their own race. If you ever meet a rap artist, or not a rap artist, but rapists, rap artists, they tend to move out of their what do you call it? Their
lower income areas into a higher income area.
Yeah, completely betraying the rest of their not betraying, but essentially getting out of the slums, and I would say that they have more in common with those other rich rappers and or rich celebrities than they do with people from lower income housing at that point, just because they have more money. Okay, controlling inflation is more important than controlling unemployment. I'm going to disagree. I don't know anything about economics, but I feel like unemployment would, if you fix the unemployment rate, you kind of fix inflation at the same time. But again, I have no idea, so I'm just going to disagree. Because I think unemployment is more important than inflation. That's my gut feeling.
Mm-hmm.
I suck at economics. You know, I've never taken an actual economics class, so I don't know anything about this. Because corporations cannot be trusted to voluntarily protect the environment, they require regulation. Actually, this is one thing I'm going to strongly agree on.
Now, that question, I don't disagree with your answer on that one, but that is definitely kind of a poison the well question right from the start from it.
Yeah, it is. I have to agree with you on that.
This is a very bizarre. I've been kind of taking it along or a little bit ahead of you. I've taken political compass tests before, and this is definitely weirdest one I've ever seen.
Yeah, you're not wrong that it is kind of weirded the weirdest way. Weirded the weirdest way. Worded. There we go. Worded the weirdest way, and because of that, like I can't really answer any other way.
Yeah,
yes,
a little too gray.
It is a gray area, so I mean, I must answer honestly.
Mm-hmm.
From each according to his ability to each according to his need. Jesus Christ, I feel like I'm reading Ayn Rand again. Strongly disagree. No. It's a sad reflection on our society that something as basic as drinking water is now bottled, branded, and consumer product. Honestly, I think that is kind of sad. I mean, it's genius. The fact that something that falls from the sky can be sold to people. I think that's absolutely fucking hilarious. No. Liberal Sanity Project. Ayn Rand, she never would have said that, but that's the sentiment that she argued against in her book. Fuck, what's it called? It's the big one, the 1,000-page one, the very large one.
Not Atlas Shrugged.
Atlas Shrugged. There we go. That
Okay.
was a quote from characters that she definitely ended up arguing against within that
Was that
book.
one that big? I guess it was.
Yeah, it was that fucking big, and I read the whole fucking thing in I think my senior year of high school. Yeah, no, Atlas Shrugged. Karl Marx said, from each according to his ability to each according to his need. Yes. But I remember it specifically from Atlas Shrugged, which is why I said Ayn Rand. So, sorry. Malevolent Writer, what are you doing spamming my chat with a link? What is that? Anyway, it's a sad reflection of our society that something as basic as drinking water is now bottled, branded, and consumer product. I'm gonna say it is very sad, but it's a genius. It's a genius capitalist tactic, to be honest.
Yep.
If you can, you can literally sell anything, including something that fucking falls from the fucking sky.
Right. You don't have to buy the water.
Yeah. So I will say it is a sad reflection on our society that people actually fucking buy that shit. Land should be a commodity to be bought and sold. Oh, land shouldn't be. Sorry, land shouldn't be a commodity to be bought and sold. I disagree with that. Like I said, like.
Otherwise, it would have no value. But
exactly.
Or it had different value depending on its. Well, I mean, I just said the inherent. Yeah, I guess it would still have value because the inherent worth of it wouldn't necessarily doesn't have to be in dollars for it to be sold. You know, is it fertile? Is it a good property to build on?
Yeah, no, property has value based on what you can do with that property in a sense.
Right, but without it being able to be bought and sold, how would you be able to value it?
Yeah, exactly. It is regrettable that many personal fortunes are made by people who simply manipulate money and contribute nothing to their society. Is it regrettable that they can do that? I mean, here's the thing. I'm all for taking advantage of a system with loopholes. It's the fault of the system that it has those loopholes. So I don't think it's regrettable. I'm going to strongly disagree. I should take the 8 values test. It's more accurate than the political compass test. Well, we'll take that next. How about that? I'll cue that up. Good thing you guys can't see all of my porn. Just kidding. Protectionism is something necessary to trade. What the fuck is protectionism?
That's basically what China was doing for a while, where they kind of manipulate the currency to make it, and also kind of what we're doing now with the tariffs.
The theory or practice of shielding a country's domestic industries from foreign competition by taxing. Oh, imports. Okay, so I just wanted to make sure that we actually had that right. Is sometimes necessary in trade. I'm split on this because personally, I think that the market itself is good on its own to just chill. You shouldn't have to interfere with it. But at the same time, I really like local businesses and, you know, American companies and stuff. And
well, you still need global trade, though. And
I know.
I'm trying not to.
No,
try not to sway you too much.
I'm conflicted. I hate this test. No, I didn't have porn open. I'm just saying it was a possibility.
She did.
No, I didn't. Okay, so I'm gonna say agree. I don't strongly agree, though. The only social responsibility of a company should be to deliver a profit to its shareholders. Well, that's implying that all companies have shareholders.
But I think they probably should have had that as a corporation as opposed to company.
Yeah, I'm gonna disagree on language principle because they done fucked that shit up.
Mm-hmm.
The rich are too highly taxed. How highly taxed are they? How highly are the rich taxed? Here's the thing. I think taxes are silly anyway, a necessary evil.
Their tax rate tends to be higher, but they tend to also have a lot more. I mean, when you get into that upper 1%, it becomes a game of how low can I get my taxes.
Here's the thing. Taxes in general, I think, are incredibly high, and I think that there is a lot of government money that gets wasted, or tax money that does absolutely get wasted. So I'm gonna say agree, but not strongly. God, I fucking hate this test.
Makes you introspect a little too much.
God, no, it's not.
No, well, maybe that's not the right word for it. It just, yeah.
Those with ability to pay should have access to higher standards of medical care. Should have access? Don't they have access?
They do.
Should have access. Like that feels like you're allowing a privilege. Like, here's the thing. Medical care is what, a right? To be able to seek medical care is a right. The ability to pay for it is
a privilege.
A privilege. I don't know. The way that this is worded is so fucking weird. Sure, I'm going to agree they should have access, and in fact, they do. No, I'm going to strongly agree with that. Governments should penalize businesses that mislead the public. I'm going to agree with that because I fucking hate liars. And that's essentially what I would consider a lie. I think everyone who lies should be penalized. I mean, yeah, sure. penalize not. Hang on. Actually, hang on. No, wait, hang on. I just thought of something. Government should penalize businesses that mislead the public. Oh, was that you? Oh, he
Yeah, it's
muted.
me.
Okay. Just wondering. Okay. So hang on. I just thought of something that would change my mind on this. Governments should penalize businesses that mislead the public. If they penalize businesses that mislead the public, doesn't that infringe upon their First Amendment right too?
Well, it depends. I mean, again, that's a very ambiguous question. What is
Yes.
misleading the public?
It is misleading the public.
Because that could be advertising. I mean, yeah, we have much more truthful advertising, but I mean, is it saying you got 12 ounces of material here and you've only got 10? I mean, I don't know that. Yeah, there's kind of again very ambiguous question.
Ugh. Yeah, I fucking hate this test. I'm gonna just agree with it, not strongly, but I'm gonna agree with it at the moment. A genuine free market requires restrictions on the ability of predator multinationals to create monopolies. No. Yes. No. Oh fuck! I hate this test.
Wait till you get further on.
Oh, you've been reading ahead.
Oh yeah, I'm at the last page.
Oh, are you taking it too?
Yep.
Okay. Genuine free market requires restrictions on the ability of predator multinationals to create monopolies. If it's multinational, doesn't it have multiple different restrictions on it from different countries as well? So doesn't that mean that the free market can never actually exist at all?
Correct.
So do I disagree or do I agree? Because, this question shouldn't exist then.
I mean, a genuine free market where there's no... I mean, what is a genuine free market? A free market is where, that is a... How do you qualify a genuine free market as opposed to a non-genuine free market? The market's as free as it is.
Yeah. Genuine as opposed to ingenuine, we have a free market, but it's not genuine.
What the fake free market? I mean, well, I guess maybe a market that's being artificially manipulated by companies and corporations.
I'm just gonna disagree. I fucking hate this quiz. Can we get to 8 values already? How many more of these fucking questions do I have? Okay, I have 4 more. The free market, the free or the people? I'm gonna strongly agree. All right. Because I'm done with the economics questions. Now look at some of your personal social values. Abortion, when the woman's life is not threatened, should always be illegal. Agree. Oh, agree. All authority should be questioned. Strongly agree. An eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. Disagree. Taxpayers should not be expected to prop up any theaters or museums that cannot survive on a commercial basis. Why theaters and museums in particular? Why can't we do any business that cannot survive on a commercial basis?
Because most businesses aren't taxpayer funded like theaters and museums are, which are public assets. I guess not assets.
Theaters. Wait.
Some theaters. Well, I guess no.
Really?
How many theaters are? My museums and museums, national parks. I don't know about theaters though. That is kind of odd.
This is very confusing. Taxpayers should not be. Yeah, that's what I thought. Theater. I know the local theater that we have in town is actually not funded by the government at all. Rather, it's funded by the school that I go to. So I get free movies because the school pays for it. But taxpayers should not be expected to prop up any theaters or museums that cannot survive on commercial basis. Agree. I'm going to agree with that. Schools should not make classroom attendance compulsory. I'm going to agree on that too. Strongly agree, actually, because if a kid doesn't understand the value, and a kid and their parent does not understand the value of a good education, then I can't fucking help you. I mean, what happens when you get to high school or college or later on in your academic career? Your work ethic. If you don't develop your work ethic as you grow up, you're fucked. I mean, like, I'm not going to force you to do something.
Well, that's something you kind of get in schools too, is developing some sort of ethic towards work and study and
I can tell you
structured
that.
environment.
I can tell you this. It was not my teachers that instilled a good work ethic in me. It was my father, and
Well, it should be your school that does that, but
nope, it was my father.
at the same time, what are you going to do with all these 12-year-old delinquents?
True. I mean, I'm gonna just basically agree. All people have their rights, but it's better for all of us that different sorts of people should keep to their own kind. No, I'm gonna fucking disagree. If people want to mingle, let them mingle. Good parents sometimes have to spank their children. Yep, I was spanked. Nothing wrong with me.
Absolutely.
Well, I mean, you guys watch my videos. You can make that determination.
Nothing that spanking wouldn't help.
I actually quite like it now. God damn. It's natural for children to keep some secrets from their parents. Well, yes. It is. It is very natural. Possessing marijuana for personal use should not be a criminal offense. I'm going to agree. There's nothing wrong with marijuana use. The prime function of schooling should be to equip the future generations to find jobs. Well, I wouldn't stop it at just finding jobs. I would expand it to make them successful adults. I think that the way that the schools are teaching kids nowadays is more so geared towards, getting into college and taking good tests as opposed to making sure they're successful adults, which is what it should do. I mean, that's the goal. So I'll agree, but I would expand that question. People with serious inheritable diseases should not be allowed to reproduce. Well, what the fuck do you mean by serious?
Down syndrome.
That's not that serious.
No, maybe not even that, but like Crohn. Probably, I don't know if Crohn's disease is inheritable or not.
Should not be allowed to reproduce. Well, hang on. That would require you, the government, to essentially dictate what a person can and cannot do with their body, and I am not okay with that. So I'm going to strongly disagree. The most important thing for children to learn is to accept discipline. Yes. There is no savage and civilized people. There are only different cultures. I'm going to disagree. Did you know that there's a tribe in Africa that actually makes little boys eat adult male semen? I'm gonna say that's I mean, that's different, but that's also if
different cultures can be quite savage.
Yep. Those who are able to work and refuse the opportunity should not expect society's support. Fuck yeah. I'm not gonna give you a leg up if you don't take one for yourself, boy. When you are troubled, it's better not to think about it, but to keep busy with cheerful things. That's exactly what I do with my problems. I
Drown yourself in the work.
Exactly. That's exactly what I do. First generation immigrants can never be fully integrated within their new country. Depends. Are they young enough? If they're young enough, I feel like then they
even if they're older, they can. It has nothing to do with the generation of the immigrant. It has to deal with the mindset of the people.
Yeah, I would say that it has more to do with the mindset, but also like how old are they when they're just coming into the country? Honestly,
I actually know several first generation immigrants, a couple of which were in the 30s when they immigrated, and they are definitely. I mean, they love America. They consider themselves Americans.
Yeah,
where they came from. So
we're doing a throwback to that one question that was asked earlier.
Yep.
What's good for most successful corporations is always ultimately good for all of us. There's no neutral ground here. I don't have an opinion on this.
Well, what's good? What is, you know? Well, here's the thing. What's good for the corporation mean?
Exactly. I have no fucking clue.
They're making more money. That's the only thing. That's the only thing a corporation's there for, is to make money.
Okay, so if they're making more money, does that mean that the economy gets boosted? And where is the corporation located within the actual country that it's supposed to be good for? I think that would be a factor that kind of plays into that a little bit. So
It's not all, so that's why I guess they also put that always in there. Is it always good for us, for all of us?
Disagree. It's not always good for everything. No broadcasting institution, however independent its content, should receive public funding. I'm going to agree because I'm using the BBC as an example, and I think the BBC is fucked. Especially, here's the thing. Especially,
well, that's a government-owned broadcasting thing.
Yeah, but it's mandatory. Funded. It's mandatory that if you own a TV, it's mandatory.
Yeah, no, I disagree with that absolutely, but I'm thinking more like NPR.
NPR.
I mean, it's kind of its independent thing with that was getting, it's not hardly getting any public funding now, but yeah. So that, you know, that I think that's where that's more focused towards.
All right, I'm gonna go next page. And how we see the wider society. A continuation of the last one. Our civil liberties are being excessively curbed in the name of counterterrorism. Chaos Eve 199. You're streaming every day now, huh? Actually, no. It just happens that I've been streaming the last 5 days in a row. Don't get used to it, please, for the love of God. I can't do this. I'm exhausted, actually. I'm all streamed out. So this is gonna be the last one until Friday. And then Friday, Saturday. And then hopefully that's it, unless something else comes up. Christ, I'm a blowover. Anyway. How you see the wider society. Our civil liberties are being excessively curbed in the name of counterterrorism. Is this with reference to the fact that none of our, cell phone calls are public anymore, or are private anymore, and they can read my emails and shit?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say I agree. A significant advantage of a one-party state is that it avoids all the arguments that delay progress in a democratic political system. Fuck me, what the fuck did I just read? Hang on. A significant advantage of a one-party state is that it avoids all the arguments that delay progress in a... Okay, that's fucked up. No, we can't have a one-party state. We can't even have a two-party state. Let's make it a quadrillion party state. Everyone for themselves.
I kind of like the way some of these other countries do it, where they have all those different parties that come together and make a coalition government. Exactly. I kind of like that, but we've got so stuck in this. We started out that way.
Mm-hmm. And we used to be able to make compromises within the government policy making, but nowadays it's bullshit.
Nope. Yeah, that ended.
Anyway, although the electronic age makes official surveillance easier, only wrongdoers need to be worried. I'm going to disagree on that because I'm a YouTuber and I know that's not a fact. That is not the case. The death penalty should be an option for the most serious crimes. Believe it or not, I'm going to disagree. And my reasoning for that is because even amongst the prison population, the baddest of the baddies, if you will, there are certain members of society who, even amongst the baddies, there are certain members of society within the baddie population that are truly abhorrent to the point where the bad baddies will take care of the even badder baddies, if you know what I mean. Yeah, so I don't think we need to, we do not need to, in a sense, compromise our justice system in killing criminals when there are so many criminals ready and willing to do that job for us.
See, I think we should bring back public hangings.
Well, actually, here's the thing. It's funny you say that because, well, not funny you say that because death is never funny. Ha 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 ha. No. If I were to go out in a death penalty type fashion, not saying I will, but if that were the case, I would like to be at the receiving end of a shooting brigade, a shooting squad, if you will. I think that's a pretty epic way to go out, with multiple bullet holes riddling your dead corpse. I don't know.
Sure.
I feel that. In a civilized society, one must always have people above to be obeyed and people below to be commanded. Well, I mean, I feel like people naturally just order themselves in that respect.
Yeah, you always have to have a leader.
Exactly. People naturally look to one person amongst the masses to just kind of, be like, that person looks like they know what they're doing. Let's follow them. So I think it's inevitable. It happens regardless of whether you want it to or not. Abstract art that doesn't... I'm actually going to strongly agree with that last one. Abstract art... Anyway, abstract art that doesn't represent anything shouldn't be considered art at all. Yes. I don't even need to think about it. yes. In criminal justice, punishment should be more important than rehabilitation. I'm going to disagree. I think rehabilitation efforts are more important than necessarily punishment because they don't know what they did wrong or how they can improve their behavior. They're not going to do better. And right. I know this because I raised my brother and my sister, and I know how to influence their behavior so that it's not geared towards more undesirable behaviors that I didn't want them to have.
Plus, when you put these people back into society, you want to have them be able to do something besides just more crime.
Exactly. It's a waste of time to try to rehabilitate. Fuck. It's a waste of time to try to rehabilitate some criminals. Yes, and that being said, what I just said right here, there are a few exceptions, obviously. So I'm going to strongly agree on that as well.
Some people are just bad.
Exactly. There are some people, not all criminals, that are just baddies from the get-go. You can't help them.
Hashtag not all.
The business person and the manufacturer are more important than the writer and the artist. Well, depends. Doesn't the manufacturer What's the business person in business doing? What's the manufacturer manufacturing?
What they're basically asking is business more important than art?
But then again, I'd have to ask, what business?
Right, because the writer can be a business person.
Exactly.
And yeah, you could consider an artist manufacturing art. So
that's the thing. I'm just like, what the fuck? It depends on what they're manufacturing, what they're in the business of. Like, is the business person in the business of selling fucking fidget spinners? And the artist is probably fucking creating a national monument. Creating, hang on. Okay? Hold up. Aren't architectures technically artists?
Vaguely, I guess.
Technically artists. They're building buildings and they're making things out of... They're drawing shit and create... I hate this question. I'm going to disagree with it. Mothers may have careers, but their first duty is to be homemakers. My mother was definitely not a homemaking type. I mean, she should have probably applied herself more in that respect, but she is neither a career woman nor a homemaker. She is a useless member of society. Yes, I said that out loud and for everyone to hear. I don't give a fuck, so I'm going to disagree. Not all people that have vaginas are meant to be mothers or homemakers. I'm just going to say that right now.
That's absolutely true.
Multinational companies are unethically exploiting the plant Fuck. Plant genetic resources of developing countries. Well, I have no frame of reference with which to go off of this, so I'm going to disagree because I don't know anything about that. Making peace with the establishment is an important aspect of maturity. Which establishment? Vladimir Putin?
Yeah, whatever establishment you're laboring under, I guess.
What if you physically cannot? Making peace with the establishment. Again, this is one of those things that depends. I'm not going to make peace with the Democratic Republic of fucking North Korea on principle. But at the same time, I mean, like, in this country, it depends on what country you're living in. I'm going to agree because I live in America. God damn it. I fucking hate this.
This is a painful test. Why did you choose this one?
Because it's the first one that comes up when you type in political compass test.
Oh, okay.
Because it is the political compass test. Astrology This is where it gets fun, I guess. If you got through that, okay, you'll find these propositions on religion a breeze, I bet. Oh, God.
Yeah, people get through these fast.
Astrology accurately explains many things. Strongly disagree. You cannot be moral without religions. Disagree.
Gotta be religious?
Huh?
Did you read that correctly?
You cannot be moral without being religious. Okay. Hang on. Now I'm second guessing myself. You cannot be moral without being religious.
You have to be religious to be moral. It's another way to write it.
Is that really what that says?
Yes.
That's not how I interpreted that at all. Hang on. You cannot be moral without
being religious.
So if I disagree with that?
Right. Another way to write that is you have to be religious to be moral. God
fucking damn it. They write these so confusingly. Why would you have a double negative? Why?
See if you're paying attention? I don't know.
I hate these people. I hate them so much. I'm never doing this again. This is the one only time. Fuck. Hang on. If I take out the double negatives, does it make more sense? You be moral, being religious. Fuck. Can I get a poll of the chat? Does this say what I think it says, or does this say what Jolander think it says? One, if you agree with me. I fucking It's worded correctly, says Link Mountaineer.
That doesn't help the question, though.
Oh, you agree? Liberal Sanity Project agrees with you. They all agree with you.
Yep.
You agree with you, I bet. Okay. I'm going to strongly agree then. Can you tell I'm not an English major? Wait, is that what it says, Quill? You have to be religious, or you have to be religious to be moral?
Yeah.
Oh, well then I fucking disagree. Why would you?
No,
that's what I thought it said.
Right. I just want to make sure you read it correctly.
So this, God fucking damn it! This whole time I had it right, and then you were just like, "Wait, no, do you have it correct?" And I'm like, "Do I? Hang on." God damn it! I'm so fucked up right now. Hang on. Okay, I'm not even drunk, and I'm just so confused. I said at the beginning of this stream that I am an idiot, or well, not at the beginning, but midway through that I'm an idiot on things that I don't care about. So there we go. Quill says he's taken the test a couple of times, so he's more intelligent than I am about this. Charity is better than Social Security as a means of helping the genuine disadvantaged. Depends on the charity.
Aren't they both charity?
I think they are both charity. That's a
One's
double.
governmental and one's, private.
Yeah. Isn't Social Security for old people?
Well, no, it's for the disabled as well.
Oh, so my mother then. Interesting.
And also for the children of people who died. Orphans, well, not really orphans, but yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna disagree. Some people are naturally unlucky. I wouldn't say unlucky so much as they've been born into life in circumstances that are just shitty. So actually, you know what? Agree if that means what I think it means, as opposed to everyone else. It is important that my child's school instills religious values. Disagree. Fuck. Can you tell I'm using a Mac too? Finally, a look at sex. You know, why are the 6 fucking topics here? Economics, the way you view the world, the broader view, religion, and then sex.
And most of the sex questions are kind of religious based too.
True. Sex outside marriage is usually immoral. Disagree. Same-sex couple is a stable, loving relationship should not be excluded from the possibility of... Wait, hang on. A same-sex couple in a stable, loving relationship should not be excluded from the possibility of child adoption. Well, I mean, not like people who are opposite-sex couples in a stable, loving relationship are adopting children in droves, so the next best thing would be this, right? Agree.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they gotta have parents.
Yep.
They can't have like the first best thing. Second best thing must be it. Beggars can't be fucking choosers. Pornography depicting consenting adults should be legal for the adult population. Strongly agree. What goes on in the private bedroom between consenting adults is no business of the state. Strongly agree. No one can feel naturally homosexual. Strongly disagree. These days, openness about sex has gone too far. I'm gonna disagree because I'm pretty open about my sex life. Just because I think it's fucking epic.
Yes, we know.
Shit.
No, keep going down.
Oh, okay.
That caught me too.
I was like, wait, I'm right there? What the fuck? Oh, wow.
Ooh, you're not where either was expected.
I expected myself to be down here.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I am pretty center. Economic, left to right, 2.25. Social libertarian, authoritarian, negative 1.74. Okay. Interesting. That tells me absolutely nothing that I care about.
That's right. Where you're at the political compass.
I'm apparently a filthy centrist, I guess. Oh boy. Anyway, let's go to the 8 values. Click here to start. Oh boy, you want to take this test with me too?
Sure. 8 values.
I will be presented with a series of statements for each one. Click the button with my opinion of it. Got it. Wait, never mind. 70 fucking questions. Okay.
Oh boy.
Oppression by corporations is more of a concern than oppression by governments. Oh, in this case, we have a neutral. Unsure option.
Nice.
I like it. Okay, oppression by corporations is more of a concern than oppression by governments. I'm going to say oppression by governments is more of a concern. Honestly. Because governments are kind of like the final say, whereas corporations, not necessarily. Chaos Eve 199. Thank you. Nice weebs. You came out close to mine. Well then. Apparently what this means, these results right here, is that I'm apparently a filthy alt-writer. Oh darn.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on. It tells you where it is that you... Oh, I'm like literally none of these people. Okay, I'm okay with that. I don't want to be like Gandhi either.
Right.
Anyway, sorry. Okay, we'll get to the 8
like
values.
to eat.
It is necessary for the government to intervene in the economy to protect consumers. Disagree. The freer the market, the freer the people. Agree. It's better to maintain words. It is better to maintain a balanced budget than to ensure welfare for all citizens. Fucking strongly agree. We don't need welfare for all citizens. We need welfare for maybe a very, very small minority of people who are quadriplegics and paralyzed from the neck down and can't, they have no family.
Welcome back, Mac.
Well, I'm back.
Hey, did you hear? I'm a filthy centrist, aka alt-writer.
I've seen the stream. You did all right.
I did
You
all
did all
right.
right. Although I must admit, some of the questions are very ambiguous.
Yeah.
Yeah,
in that particular one.
Some of the
But
questions.
this test that you're taking right now, actually, I think, in my opinion, this is the best one.
Okay.
Because the questions are a bit more focused on certain issues. So it shouldn't be so difficult.
They've already had two that are the same as the last one.
Okay, so I'm on question 5 right now. Publicly funded research is more beneficial to the people than leaving it to the market. Actually, I have to agree on this because if we leave it up to the market, there's
It'll only benefit the corporation with the research.
Well, here's the thing. I know how research works, and I know how studies happen, and peer review doesn't happen all that often, or well, not peer review, but people don't replicate studies as much as they should, just because there's no glory in it. And I think publicly funding research, kind of takes away from that. Is there any glory?
It incentivizes it a little more.
It does. So I'm gonna agree. International trade is beneficial. Agree.
Yeah.
From each according to his ability to each according to his need. Strongly disagree. It would be best if social programs were abolished in favor of private charity. Okay, so in this I'm gonna disagree. Just because
private charities won't necessarily take care of the people.
Exactly. And that's
besides nowadays there are more and more cases of charities, I don't know, being linked with religious organizations, or I don't know, that kind of whatnot.
Yeah.
At least where I'm from, like, that's the case. Most of them are linked with the church and whatnot.
Yeah, that's kind of an issue for a filthy agnostic like myself. Taxes should be increased on the rich to provide for the poor. Fucking no. Inheritance is a legitimate form of wealth.
I don't understand that question. How it could be an illegitimate form?
Yeah, I mean,
it's wealth.
I mean, yeah, it's how you look at it.
The way that you accrue it is a big no-no. If that were the case, then any $20 bill that I ever got from my grandma in life as a gift is just
right. Any gift, right?
So I'm going to strongly agree. Public utilities like roads and electricity should be publicly owned. I'm going to agree, because who the fuck else is going to build them? Excessive government intervention is fuck me. Excessive government intervention is a threat to the economy. Yes. Those with a greater ability to pay should receive better health care. Yes. Quality education is a right of all people. Yes.
Most definitely.
It's a right, but with the stipulation that you're not entitled to it just because you want it. I mean, you still got to pay those teachers that money to teach you the things that they know. Anyway, Elotica asks, is this the white people are scum quiz? No, it is not. This is the 8 values quiz. The means of production.
We'll take the white people are scum quiz later.
Yeah, that'll be a later quiz. The means of production should belong to the workers who use them. Means of production should belong to the workers who use them. Wait, what the fuck does that mean?
That's straight out of the Communist Manifesto, #1.
But it's the means of production should belong to the workers who use them. That's
the factories, things like that.
Oh, well, that's bullshit. No.
on who owns them.
Yeah.
If the workers own them, great. If not, oh well.
Yeah, if the workers happen to have invested in said means of production, then yeah, sure they can own them, but not just on the... The Liberal Sanity Project asked, how can you not be entitled to a right that's contradictory? Well, the way that I meant it was, you have the right to pursue an education, but you're not entitled to it in the sense that you don't, in the sense that you get it for free. You have to work for it, pay for it, stuff like that. You can't just be handed it, if that makes sense. The United Nations should be abolished. Well, I don't know enough about the UN. Well, actually, yes, I do. Hang on. Well, frankly, it doesn't affect me, so I don't really care.
There's neutral there for that.
There we go. Military action by our nation is often necessary to protect it. Often necessary to protect it. Sure. I mean, first exhaust all your options diplomatically, but then, like, once you gotta do what you gotta do what you gotta do. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, for instance, Pearl Harbor decides that it wants to get bombed and shit. Well, yeah, there we go. We just go fucking ape shit on them bitches and hoes. I'm talking about the Nazis and the Japs. But, would I say often? Not necessarily. It's not like the necessity. Every 10 years we have to go to war. Just whenever we need to. I support regional unions such as the EU. Again, I don't give a fuck. I don't know anything about the EU. I don't know how it affects me, so I'm going to say neutral and unsure. I should probably look into it, honestly. But, like, America. Am I right?
Too complicated.
America, fuck yeah.
America, fuck yeah. And I know that, hang on, the thing is, I know that that makes me sound like a dirty fucking American nationalist, but you have to remember, I literally do not give a fuck. I have no frame of reference. I don't know anything about the EU, so that's like literally my only response. Laudica, hey, any chance of getting me on the stream? This stream is for patrons and maker supporters necessarily. So I will do another stream probably at some point. I have the Saturday stream and stuff and such and what have you. But I do intend to get out of here at least at 7 o'clock because I do have to eat, believe it or not, and I have to study, and I have a video that I have to get out by tomorrow.
Get on it?
Well, it's half edited. I just have to finish editing it. I had issues. I had to reshoot it because I was not satisfied. It is important to maintain our national sovereignty. That's such a weird word. Do you see this? Sovereignty.
Sovereignty.
I know, but the way that
it looks
spelled.
weird.
I'm gonna say agree. A united world government would be beneficial to mankind. Fuck no. I do not want Russians to rule the world. No, thank you. It is more important to retain peaceful relations than to further our strength. I'm gonna agree. We don't need to go to war. Wars do not need to be justified to other countries. Well, I mean, here's the thing. If we're waging a war against a country, do we need to justify it to that country?
Well, you're not doing it to the other, not the one you're warring on, but the other people that are in the world.
Well, I guess.
To people around them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're not going to be able to justify your war to every single country. Let's be real. That's a ridiculous notion.
Well, no, but you can justify to as many as you can.
I guess. That's true. Okay. I'm going to say neutral. It's a stupid question. Military spending is a waste of money. Disagree. It's not a waste of money. I mean, we always need to upkeep our military, but like...
Yeah, on that one, I actually put unsure on that one just because unnecessary military spending is a waste of money.
It didn't specify.
It did not.
It just said military.
Yeah, I know.
So. International aid is a waste of money. Well, are they improving? That's my question. Oh, I hear myself.
That's back.
Markov. Matt?
I'm here. Don't worry. You have my full attention.
Okay. I was starting to hear an echo and it was freaking me out. I don't like to hear myself talk. That's why it takes me forever to update or to make a video. International aid is waste of money. I would ask, are they improving and can they help us in the future? Like long-term goal-wise.
Well, in principle. Do you agree or disagree?
In principle, no, but are we helping ourselves first? That's my question first.
Well, international aid it's also a good tool for diplomacy.
Oh, true. I did not think of that, but now that you said it, it makes sense. So I'll only mildly agree. My nation is fucking great. Sorry, Makarov.
Why are you apologizing to me?
Because you're a foreigner. That's why.
Oh, don't worry. When I look at America, I see a very unique internal market filled with over 300 million simpletons that are ready to buy shit that's been being presented as gold. And literally, I mean, this is exactly what I'm waiting for. As soon as I get the visa, if I'm gonna get it, you can rest assured that I will. You can rest assured that there is going to be a plenty of overstay, and I intend to rob every single American of their living opportunities.
Okay, fair enough.
Most definitely.
Research should be conducted on an international scale. Well, I mean, that would get the most accurate research information.
Definitely.
I feel that would be a benefit to science. So I strongly agree. Governments should be accountable to the international community.
It depends again.
What are they doing? Are they doing something internationally?
Well, that's how you come in with the wars that are justifiable.
But at the same time, you have to remember that sometimes governments do things that are human rights violations. Serial. But
Israel.
Yeah. So
yeah,
I'm gonna say agree. Even when protesting an authoritarian government, violence is not acceptable. Agree. Strongly. Actually, I can't take it back, can I?
Nope.
I was just gonna mildly agree. Fuck! My religious values should be spread as much as possible. I don't have religious values, so I'm gonna strongly disagree. I don't care about anyone else's either.
the cult of dweeb.
You know what? I'm gonna start a cult. Everyone, we're gonna start a cult.
Woohoo!
Cult of Weeb.
Dweeb.
We're gonna have cookies every Friday.
Mm.
There's a back button on this bitch. Oh,
There is. Oh, I didn't know you
Who
could
the
take it
fuck?
back.
fuck! I can't. I can't go back more than one question. God fucking damn it! All right. Our nation's values should be spread as much as possible. Agree.
You already did that, so.
It is very important to maintain law and order. Yes.
Yes.
When is it not? The general populace makes poor decisions. Well, I mean, yes.
As of late.
As of late. I agree. Victimless crimes such as drug use should not be crimes at all. I'm gonna agree. If some hoe in a gutter decides that she wants to shoot up and kill herself, I'm not sorry. That happens. Because everyone has the right to ruin their own lives. Now, where I draw a line in that is when the bitch is pregnant with a kid. That's an issue. It's a big issue.
Absolutely.
Because you have the right to ruin your own life, but not that of your child.
Mm-hmm.
The sacrifice of some civil liberties is necessary to protect us from acts of terrorism. Disagree. Government surveillance is necessary in the modern world.
That one's squishy.
It is squishy. I'm going to say neutral. The very existence of our state is a threat to our liberty. Of the state is a threat to our liberty. I mean, it can be, but it's not right now at the moment.
It's also what
Sounds
gives
like
us our liberty.
Huh?
Sounds like something that a libertarian would say. A hardcore libertarian.
That's why I'm not a hardcore libertarian.
Well, there you go then.
I mean, sure, I probably affiliate myself closer with libertarians than any other one, but I'm not specifically aligning myself. So I'm going to disagree. Regardless of political opinions, it's important to side with your country. I want to disagree because sometimes you have political opinions that are different from your country, and I fully endorse that.
Which leads right into this question.
No
I
authority
can
should be
definitely
left.
attest to that. So
I agree. No authority should be left unquestioned. Hang on. No authority should be left unquestioned. This isn't one of those instances where we're asking a double negative, right?
No.
No authority should. Okay, so I'm reading it the way that I'm reading it, and it makes sense to me the way that it makes sense.
no
We
need to
assume so.
overcomplicate it. It's very simple.
Yeah. Did you know that I have a tendency to overthink things? Because I did. A hierarchical state is best. Well, we run into that issue of, again, hierarchies are going to establish themselves whether you like it or not. So you have no
Exactly.
other choice.
It's inevitable.
It's inevitable. Strongly agree. It is important that the government follows the majority opinion, even if it is wrong. Damn.
That kind of defeats the purpose of the government. I mean, you're electing them into office, but once elected, they don't necessarily have to side with the majority 100% of the time.
And,
But then
and
again, it depends on the type of democracy that you live in, I guess. It varies from a country to country in the Western world.
yeah, this is another mushy question though, because what's wrong opinion?
That's true.
Because if it's a majority opinion via the government, it has to be right. Because the government's for the
government
majority
is
of
for
people.
the people. So
Yeah.
Well, take
Teddy-
Brexit, for example.
Hang on. Teddy says happy late birthday. Thank you, Teddy. You a doll face. So you said take the EU, for example?
No, not the EU. Take the Brexit, for example.
Oh, Brexit. Okay.
The majority of the people voted to leave. However, with most of the MPs elected even to this day, a good majority of them want to stay in the EU. Absolute majority of them. So if, I don't know, I mean, at this point, anything can happen. I mean, they can convene tomorrow and say, well, hey, no more Brexit, goodbye.
Well,
Theoretically.
they've already started the process, so they're kind of stuck now. What's really sad about that is most of the people actually didn't want to leave. They just didn't go and vote, which is another reason. Go and vote, people.
True. The dude with a 2 said, Weebo, if you wanted to take this in honest, you'd have to do it without people advising you. Here's the thing, though. In everyday life, no matter what it is I'm doing, I take everything under advisement from people that are a little bit more intellectually knowledgeable about the world than I do. So if I'm being honest, me taking advice from people or taking suggestions from people, I don't actually have to agree with them, but I take them into consideration when I make my decisions. That's how I make my decisions.
Trying hard not to help either.
No, I understand that. It's just I value a wide variety of opinions, and yes, I can essentially pick and choose from those opinions and stuff what I prefer. That's how I do my politics as well. But if I didn't do that and I took this, it wouldn't be true to me, essentially. So that's my whole take on this. This is why I'm doing it with more people. That's why I'm doing it live too, taking what the chat has to say as well into consideration. because sometimes they think of things that I don't necessarily think of. Anyway, so it's important that the government follows the majority opinion, even if it's wrong. I'm going to just be neutral and unsure about this, because what is a wrong opinion? The stronger the leadership, the better. Sure. What do you mean by stronger, though? Am I overthinking this again? Stronger
Yes.
as in... Okay.
Definitely.
Okay. Democracy is more than a decision-making progress. The fuck is that supposed to mean? More than a
Process, not
decision-making
progress.
process. No, I said process, didn't I?
I
Yes.
said progress.
Oh, fuck me. All right. Democracy is more than a decision-making process. Okay.
You can even call it a culture. Something
Well-
that developed itself in the West.
Yeah, see, I don't know what to make of this question, because decision-making process, I mean, sure. I guess culture is, in a sense, true, because everyone gives their opinion at any given time about any given thing. And that's the beauty of it. That's why I like the fact that we live in a, well, not full democracy, but you get my drift.
It's also kind of a culture of listening to other people's opinions
Mhm.
and making decisions.
Hey,
Yes.
I just talked about doing that.
Mm-hmm.
I strongly agree. Environmental regulations are essential. I'll marginally agree. Spawn Freak says democracy is non-negotiable. I feel like that's an oxymoron.
Anything and everything is
I
open
like
to
that.
negotiation.
Yeah, everything's under negotiation. I'll take it under advisement. A better world will come from automation, science, and technology. Better world will come from automation, science, and technology. Yeah. Children should be educated in religious or traditional values. Disagree. Why is traditional values included on that? You can have traditional values and not be religious. Just like you can be religious and not have traditional values. Have you met the Mormons?
Yeah. Well, they have their own traditional values.
Never met a single one.
Nah.
I don't know what a Mormon is.
I'm
That's,
going to disagree. I'm just going to disagree.
Is that an invented American term or whatever?
Traditions are of no value of their own.
On their own.
On their own. On their own. I don't get it. What?
Basically, a tradition without context.
A tradition without context? You mean like hiding Easter eggs for kids on Easter?
Sure.
I feel like every tradition has a value in some way. When we talk about,
well, okay. Well, how I interpreted that was, you take a tradition from one culture and then and give it to another one, and without giving any context, basically just tradition on its own, like the hiding Easter eggs to somebody who's never heard of that before. They were like, "Why are you doing this?"
Fair enough.
That's how I interpreted it.
Chaos Eve 999. Gotta bail. Have fun, Weebo. Thanks, Chaos.
See you, Chaos.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
I'm just gonna be neutral and unsure about it. Religion should play a role in government. I'm going to strongly disagree. Churches should be taxed the same way other institutions are taxed. Strongly agree. Climate change is currently one of the greatest threats to our way of life.
Just don't go full Sargon on this one.
What did he say? What did Sargon do? Was he a bad boy?
Well, to put it mildly, yes. Not because of having a wrong opinion, of course not. But what was it that he said? That he knew, that he was aware of that it's happening and everything, but that he is really not sure, that he needs to dig deeper and stuff. And he decided to dig deeper and nothing.
Yeah, basically he just came in
Really
with
nothing. Like he's dodging the question. Like he doesn't want to give a straight answer.
Head in the sand kind of thing.
Fair enough. To be honest, I think this is more of a future Weebo issue, as opposed to, oh, nuclear threat of war is upon us. It's like, what, 2 minutes to midnight right now? That's,
It always is.
I think that's more of a pressing issue. I think civil war is more of a pressing issue, but not civil war in the civil war sense. Civil war in the, the people are dissatisfied with something and going to burn garbage cans, because that's what the people do. I think that's more of a pressing issue than climate change is at this point in time. So I'm going to say greatest threats to our way of life. Well, that's not, I'm going to disagree right now. Come back in 10 years, we'll see what happens. It is important that we work as a united world to combat climate change. Here's the thing. Technically, yes. I don't think it's a pressing issue, but I think that since it's a thing that affects the entirety of the planet should work towards a solution. Does that make sense?
Otherwise, we can't combat it.
Exactly. I mean, like, if China doesn't decide that they want to make an effort to reduce their pollution,
which they already have, just because they couldn't breathe.
Well, there you go.
Oh yeah, they took it to the extreme.
Society was better many years ago than it is now. That's fucking broad, man. I mean, how do you mean that exactly? In the sense that we're not burning garbage cans, but at the same time, we're also not we're not at war with Russia in a Cold War, essentially. But we're also not, we're not. Fuck, what's the word I'm looking for here? Where black people couldn't drink out of water fountains.
We have social qualities.
Yeah, we have social equality, so it's like a give and take here. I mean, I think as a society, the general
better is a squishy term there.
It is a squishy term.
I'm using that word. Yeah, it fits.
It fits. It does fit. It is a squishy term. Better. I'm gonna say neutral. It is important that we maintain the traditions of our past. Again, which traditions? Unsure. It is important that we think in the long term beyond our lifespans. Agree. Like, just me in general, I think about the way that my children will live out their lives and their children and stuff. So that's a thing. But that's just me. Reason is more important than maintaining our culture. Reason is more important than maintaining our culture. Reason isn't logic, or reason isn't what?
I don't know. I was unsure about this question.
Fuck. You're already finished?
How can you?
Oh yeah, I've been finished.
Oh.
I take that.
Chat, what do you think? Are they talking logic, or are they talking something else that I'm not thinking about? Thinking is more important than maintaining our culture.
Well, how can someone appreciate one's culture if there is no reason behind it? Try to think of it that way.
Well, culture doesn't necessarily have a lot to do with reason in some ways.
But still, it's an abstraction, a very interesting portrayal of things that are currently going on around you, and you preserve them as, I don't know, some kind of a historical record of the things of how things used to be and how people used to do certain things back then.
And reason can be part of your culture too, which is why I didn't understand this question. It didn't really make a lot of sense because you're separating two things that are quite often put together.
Yes, interchangeable, yeah.
So
reason is more important than maintaining our culture. I'll just marginally agree. Drug use should be legalized or decriminalized. Again, you know my stance on that, so I'm going to agree. Same-sex marriage should be legal. Agree. No cultures are superior to others. Strongly disagree. Again, I'm going to bring up the semen-eating young children in the
that's
absolutely
countries. Sex outside marriage is immoral. Immoral. Strongly disagree. If we accept migrants at all, it is important that they assimilate to our culture. Strongly agree. Abortion should be prohibited in most or all cases. Language. Cases. I'm going to strongly agree on that. Gun ownership should be prohibited for those without a valid reason. Strongly disagree. I suppose. What? Who determines what's a valid reason, though? That takes away from the whole Second Amendment thing.
Yep, I agree with that. Yep.
I support single-payer universal health care. I don't know what that fucking means because I never paid attention to my
Okay, it's like what Britain has, where they have universal health, where the government provides healthcare for everybody.
I'm gonna look it up. Healthcare system financed by taxes that covers the cost of essential healthcare for all residents with costs covered by a single public system. Well, then doesn't the government determine what it is that you necessarily need in terms of healthcare? And the government's not very good at doing that, right? Okay.
That's
Yeah,
not
Makarov,
really how
you've got it, don't you?
Yes, we got it here. I mean, the way it works is that every single month, when they are calculating your salary, depending on the company that you're working in, you have your gross salary, and out of that gross salary, they are taking a certain portion of your money on a monthly basis, and it's being collected, by the ministry or I don't know, the registered department in the country that you live in. So basically, you're paying. What you're paying here is basically access to everything, absolutely everything. If you want something extra, like I don't know, a special life insurance premium or something, you can take it with the state medical insurance company. You can take it with the private insurance company. Here in the country that I'm currently residing in the Czech Republic, they have a very liberal and a very open market of health insurers. There's the state, and you also have like maybe 7 or 8 different either private insurers. And I think the main difference between the state and the private insurers here is that in some of these, you actually get access to, I don't know, some sort of experimental medication and stuff, I don't know, in case of terminal diseases or whatever, if all other options have been exhausted and so on. Like that's the only primary difference, between the state medical insurance and the private medical insurance, sort of. But the prices are quite similar. It goes up or down, I don't know, maybe between 5 to 10%. It's not that much.
So, but like my big issue is there a limit on what you can and cannot
Well,
get?
just like any other insurance, you get whatever they'll pay for, but if you want more, you could always get more healthcare insurance on top of it if you want it.
Is that's what this means?
Yes, basically it means that the government would cover all. It will cover your basic medical needs and everything. If there's an emergency or something, then the government's got your back. No special bills for hospitalization or extra medication or whatever.
Yeah, you get sick, you walk into the hospital, and you get it taken care of.
Oh.
Exactly. If you want to pay for, but for example, if you want to pay for, I don't know, for
Now,
wheelchair or something like that, then the government will participate. It will participate in a certain percentage point, with the expenses. I don't know. In some cases, I don't know. In my country of residence, I mean, back home, I don't know. The participation is like 30 to 40%. In some countries, it can be 50 to 60%. It depends. It entirely depends on what country you're talking about and what kind of system they have in place.
Again, the other side of that, I know you don't like taxes, and it is another tax, or an expansion of a tax. So we already do pay for Medicare.
So I'm gonna disagree. Also, Race Jacobson, thank you for the $2. What's it like living in the Czech Republic?
Well, to be honest, it's honestly, it's a very very interesting experience. It's much more open. People are much more tolerant. The salaries are much bigger than in the country that I'm coming from. The beer is the beer and the alcohol here in general is even cheaper than water.
Hmm.
I mean, I can get like a 2 liters of beer for what's the price? It will be 60 cents.
Just so everyone's aware, I just
60
disagreed that
cents.
prostitution should be illegal. I think it should be legal and it should be,
Regulated and taxed.
exactly. Like, if you're going to do that, like, let's do the frivolous stuff. Let's tax the frivolous shenanigans.
What do you do if you film it?
Just put a video camera in front of it and it's suddenly legal.
But I mean, imagine a situation. Imagine a situation in which I don't know. You end up with a hooker. You do your thing, and afterwards, she needs to actually give you the bill.
Yeah.
Maintaining
There you go.
family
There you
values.
go, sir. That was for
Will they
I don't know.
cash or credit?
Cash or credit, yes.
A blowjob is about $15 or something. I don't know. Depending on how long it takes for you to come, and the rate of effort that it is required.
Absolutely.
Anyway, maintaining family values is essential. I'm gonna agree. To chase progress at all costs is dangerous. Yes, but that's because my mind immediately goes to, if you've ever read the Maximum Ride series, basically there's genetic testing, and graphing between the species done to children, and essentially they're treated none too kindly. I don't know why, but that's essentially where my mind goes to when I'm listening to, or when I'm thinking about this.
Oh, you like the next question then?
Huh?
Said you like the next question then?
Oh, I agree. Genetic modification is a force for good, even on humans. Oh boy.
Absolutely.
Yes,
Absolutely.
but to
Yes,
a point,
of course.
not in all instances, and not at all costs. Quote. We should open our borders to immigration. Not open, maybe just
Controlled
crack them open
immigration.
a little bit. Let only a few people in at a time.
I think our naturalization process should be streamlined a little more.
Yeah. Governments should be as concerned about foreign citizens as they are about those within their borders.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
Complete and total bullshit. Otherwise, I'd be deported by now. If I, as a foreigner, represented any kind of a threat to the society here at large.
All people, regardless of factors like culture or sexuality, should be treated equal. Yes. But I have... What if they commit a crime? Do I get to throw their ass in jail then?
Well,
Well,
that's not. I don't know. That's what they're asking, but yeah, but they should be treated as the same as somebody else from the different sexualities should say that commits the same crime.
Okay. Fair enough. Okay, hang on. I'm overthinking it. I overthink everything. Cryomancer brought up the semen eaters again. I mean, there we go. No, okay. My stance on that is, yeah, treat everyone equally, but if they're going to do something fucked up and gross and illegal and immorally wrong, then yeah, we're going to treat them a little bit differently, just because that's a no-no. Is it important that we further my group's goals above all other? I don't have a group, so I'm going to say it's not important. I don't give a shit about anyone else. It's just me, so I'm just going to be neutral. There we go. God damn it.
Liberalism.
Fuck off.
Hey, I got social
shit.
liberalism.
Okay, hang on.
Sargonites are already circling around.
Christ almighty. Economic access. I am a centrist. So
a Hillary clone.
Fuck off. Fuck you. Diplomatic access, more nationalistic. Moderate in the civil access for liberty. Social access, more progressive. Liberalism. Let the memes commence. Fuck me. Okay. There you go. Now you know.
Knowing's half the battle.
It only took 2 hours. Alright. And now we're back to my lovely avatar face.
Oh, much better.
Actually, I could take it off of the no camera thing because I look decent today. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Your girl, Weebo. But
Well,
yeah, no, you should know that I still absolutely hate political compass tests with a burning passion. Mainly because I hate them, and yeah.
And now so do we.
Now we all.
there's supposed to be questionnaires on principle, not on specifics.
Mhm.
So
I hate them because they're non-specific. I hate being non-specific.
Black and white.
Yeah, nothing's black and white. Nothing, absolutely nothing, except for fonts at paper. Race Jacobson, thank you for the $2. Weebolist. Diesel Dave, $2. Weebo is a libtard. Thanks. It said I was a
Congratulations.
filthy centrist, essentially, though. Come on, guys. Come on. I side with should be less of a headache. Well, we don't have enough time to get into a third political compass test, so we'll probably have to save that one for later. Winston Churchill, oh my god, Winston Churchill's in the chat. He says he took it 3 times and got centrist, moderate, conservative, and right-wing populist. Well then. There we go. Well, that was pretty fucking boring political compass. I'm so sorry that I'm not a radical leftist or fucking alt-righter. What did you expect? Seriously. I'm the Slime says, too many general questions, weebs. Honestly, yeah. But anyway, so what did you guys think of that whole process? Were you surprised? Were you unsurprised? Was that kind of what
I was a little bit surprised by where you hit in. I was really figuring a little bit further right, not too much further, but a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you seem to be
You have to remember.
a bit more to the right than I thought, but still cool.
So on the original political compass test that I took, it said I was more right-leaning, whereas on this one it said I was more left-leaning. So
Again, you're a centrist.
I can't win. Anyway, communist in space. Thank you for the 2. Is that pounds or what is that? Try to be a little more Marxist-Leninist next time. Ray Johnson, $2. You should create a new political compass test. Yeah, fucking right. I hate those fucking shit bits. You know, fuck it. No.
No one better for the job then.
I don't want to do what I hate, and it's considered work.
That'll make you. That will then make you even more efficient.
I just realized it's presenting on my face, and as much as I know you guys love my face, we don't need to do that. I expect. Mantle says he expected exactly the result. A dirty centrist. I would invest in body armor with the bullets you're gonna get. Oh darn. To be honest, I also kind of expected that, just considering how non-specific it is that I choose to affiliate myself. Guys, I think it needs to be brought to attention. I don't think that's the real Churchill. The real one died. He may be an imposter in our midst. Well,
blasphemy.
I couldn't tell you.
Nobody lies on the internet.
The Liberal Sanity Project says with the typical range of your content, I thought you'd be a condor. Oh, thanks. But in truth, your social positions aren't really any different than mine. Thank you. Race Jacobson, thank you for the $2. Create one that's more specific. Okay. So the first question on the political compass test would be, say that someone has decided to burn a trash can in the middle of, say, I don't know, UC Berkeley. What do you do? And do you A, continue to burn the trash can? B, grab a fire extinguisher, put it out? C, tackle the motherfucker who lit it on fire? Or D, what should D be? Guys, help me out.
Film it and put it on YouTube.
Film it, put it on YouTube.
Exactly.
100% respondents, film it on YouTube.
Say there is a
And there
woman
you
in the middle of a public space who is showing her shoulders. Do you A, throw acid at her? Do you B, ignore her? Do you C, tell her to put a shirt on? Or do you D, touch her boobs?
Always go with the boobs. So
Choose not to respond.
There is no other option. You must choose
Damn it.
either the Muslimist, the conservative, the normal person, or the feminist, the male feminist. Because D is the male feminist position.
Yeah, okay.
Weebo, you're cute. I do not care about your ideology. You just need a little action. Adrian, what action is in, like, I need to be proactive with my politics? I vote. Does that count? I volunteer my time. I do charity work. Is that not enough? I do YouTube for funsies. I have a series dedicated to what do you call it? Male issues in a feminist world. There's a cuck test. What?
what the hell?
There's a cuck test. I just saw this in.
There is a cuck test. There's a couple of them.
Oh, really?
Oh my gosh. Okay, this is how we're gonna round out the entire stream. Hopefully it's short and sweet. Hang on. There's a fucking cuck test.
It's 35 answers, 35 questions.
All right, we're gonna do
First
it.
one's what your age, so.
We're going to do it rapid fire. Is it this one? Are you a cuck? How much of a cuck are you?
Yeah, the first one's what I'm on.
First one. Okay. I got you. 18, 24. What is your gender? Female. Fuck. How much do you
Questionable.
fight me? How do you describe your views on social issues? Moderate. Other, I don't know. Which one? Someone decide for me.
Extremely liberal, obviously.
Fuck
If
off.
you got a mind of your own, then your everything else just not what's listed. So other.
Other, don't know. Do you believe in government has a duty to provide basic needs for citizens such as food, housing, education, basic income? No. In certain cases. A retail company pays its employees on average I'm gonna fucking die. 40 grand a year. Meanwhile, the CEO takes home several millions of dollars. What should be done about this? Nothing should be fucking done. What is your opinion on gun ownership? It's right of every citizen. You think college campuses should be designed safe spaces, designated safe spaces where certain words? No. Fuck off.
No.
Fuck. How many genders are there?
2.
2. Should hate speech be considered a crime? Fuck no. Have you taken a political compass test? Where have you general land? Blah, blah.
Near the center.
Near the center. Do you believe a race or culture has duty to repay their other races or cultures? Fuck off.
No.
What are your views on immigration? Country should care for its own people before letting outsiders in. Well, actually, we can do both at the same time. What did you major in or are currently majoring in at college? STEM! What is one thing you would like to improve about your country?
The defense, of course. You can never
I'd
have enough
say
of that.
education because it's actually in the gutter right now. I don't know if you guys know this, but there's this thing called Common Core and also social justice.
Education is horrible right now.
Is white privilege a real thing? Fuck off. Sam was born male. One day, Sam announces that from now on he identifies as a woman and would prefer to be called Samantha. Well, that fucking uncreative little shit. And referred to with she, her pronouns. What is Samantha's gender?
Her gender? Male.
Well, here's the thing. I'll refer to Samantha as female, so long as Samantha looks like a female.
Well, that's just it. They didn't say that. They just identifies.
Not
But don't overthink it. Moving on.
overthinking it. Should someone lose their job because of the offensive date? No, fuck off. In general, what is your opinion of feminism? Somewhat negative. Mostly negative. What set of hobbies should sound most appealing to you? Reading, writing, drawing, hunting, fishing, camping, TV. All of these sound appealing.
I know.
I can't pick. Fuck. There's not an all of the above answer. I like this, and I like this, and I like this, and I like this.
Well, here's how you can narrow the options. Number one would basically mean that you are a liberal arts degree college student, or maybe a complete liptard. The second one, hunting, fishing, and camping, well, you could pick those if you're an old fart in your retirement, late 70s.
With the thing that I spend the most time doing, which is TV shows, movies, and video games.
Exactly.
Because that's what I spend most of my time doing, just because that's the most affordable thing I can do. Is morality objective or relative? What the fuck does that mean? Not sure. I don't have enough time to think it out. What best describes your religious views? Agnostic, atheist. Modern art versus traditional art. Who wins? Traditional fucking art, of course. What is your opinion of open relationships? I'm not interested in one, but you know what? That's their prerogative. They do whatever the fuck they want. If that makes them miserable, then I just don't know what to tell you. Do what you will. Your country suddenly finds itself saddled with thousands of migrants from a foreign land. These migrants are from a culture very different from your own and most refuse to assimilate. Indeed, some of them are even violently opposed to your nation's culture and attack it at every opportunity. What course of action should be taken?
Throw them out the window.
Ideally, this wouldn't be a non-issue, as these people would never be granted access in the first place. What is your ideal form of government? The fuck wants a monarchy? Okay. What the? I don't know what any of these are.
You know what a republic is?
No. I know what a republic is. How is it? What the fuck is a confederation?
Okay, take your time.
Federation, feudalism, and the fourth. It's
regional government. Is that like?
Well, feudalism is basically what. But I saw they have feudalism apart from monarchy. It was a system that was.
I don't want to get it wrong. Monarchy. I don't want to accidentally be.
I guess you get feudalism without
confederation,
monarchy.
As in.
Oh,
the
so you mean like
Confederacy?
The EU or something? Oh, no. Wait, hang on. We live in a confederation, technically. If you want to get.
We live in a republic.
Well, not the way that this is. Number of parties are grouped, united in an alliance or league. Technically, I mean the states. If you're looking at, okay, you know what? I'm overthinking it. Never mind. Ignore me.
No, the states are a confederacy.
Ignore me. Ignore me. I'm overthinking it again.
Yep.
Let's roll up the state.
It's a pattern with you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
as of late.
The state. Are we talking national state or the state or the? Fuck me.
State is the government.
The government concern itself with three things: national defense, enforcing private contracts, and protecting. You know what? I'm going to go with that. How important is tradition to you? Not very important. Many people believe there is a problem with the lack of diversity in many forms of entertainment media. What is your opinion? There's not a problem with diversity or lack thereof. Do you believe there's political bias among the academics of American and Western Europe? Yes. Should children be taught about LGBT issues in school? As long as we're not teaching them how to do the butt stuff at age 5. I guess. LGBT issues. children.
Issues, not necessarily the mechanics.
What do kids care about issues? Would you list in your nation's military if we went to war? Yeah, it would depend on who we're fighting and why. How involved should the government be in private businesses and financial sector?
Oh, 33 is a hard one.
What book is better, The Prince or Utopia? Never read either of them. In general, do you believe society has gotten better or worse in the last 100 years? Not sure, because that's rather subjective depending on what we're talking about. Fuck off. What course of action do you believe would bring about the best change in society? Fuck this question.
I don't like any of these answers.
I'm just gonna say,
well, there is no going back.
Itself, I have faith in this. That people will do shit. Okay, I'm just gonna submit it.
Yay! I'm not a cuck.
Cuck. I am a patrician, a moral, educated, non-degenerate, and impervious to all forms of modernism, relativism, cuckery, and leftist cuckery. I feel like, I think this quiz is a little bit biased.
Oh yes, you should. That was obvious from the start.
You think? Anyway, so we are past time at 7:01. I want to thank the chat for coming out, my patrons and maker supporters for coming out and hanging with me for a solid 2 hours. Good for you, kids. You have no life. What are you doing? Please go get one.
Just kidding. I got paid. I'm getting paid for every single hour, so I don't care. I'm getting paid either way.
All right, fair enough. Fair enough. Use your time wisely. And if this is how you choose to do it, then by all means do it. I mean, I'm not going to stop you. This is a free country. What's the name of the test? Winston Churchill asks. It's the cuck test, right? I just wrote cuck test, and then it's the first result. So anyway, Nate the volunteerist, I side with is not biased. Well, maybe I'll take that next week. But right now I do have to go and finish off that video that I have to upload tomorrow. So that's a thing. So anyway, thank you all for coming out, hanging with me for a solid 2 hours and 2 minutes. It was fun. It was real. I hope you enjoyed yourself, even though it was a little boring at times. Anyway.
I enjoyed it.
It was entertaining.
I bet. Anyway, adios.